Drawing trees can be incredibly simple, yet the final result may appear highly complex. It all depends on how you approach your work. I'm Lia, I'm a visual artist, and in this video I'll share some of the sketches I made of a beautiful tree I found while hiking here in the mountains where I live. I'll also show you some pages of this beautiful book about trees in art. Trees have been represented in art in so many different ways for centuries. I bought this book, a collection of tree paintings, when I was in Barcelona last year. It gathers works from a wide range of artists and illustrators, each with their own way of capturing the essence of trees. Each artist brings their own mood and emotion to representing trees in a scene. We can find from detailed ink drawings to abstract shapes. Flipping through these pages feels like walking through many different forests, each filtered through a unique artistic lens. Some artists paint trees almost as color blocks, using large brush strokes to create blobs of color that represents the entire canopy at once. Others focus on all the trunk details, small branches and leaves. Some use more geometry in shaping the trees, while others leave them more organic and similar to what happens in nature. Finding your own style will take time and practice, but today we'll talk about how I approach trees in my work. Now, let me take you for a walk in our beautiful land. It's winter time in Brazil, so some of the trees are almost bare of leaves. We don't have snow here and the forest keeps most of its green plants all year round, but we can still notice the change in the weather. I admire all trees with or without leaves, and I like to take my time to enjoy the view when hiking. On the top of this hill, we stopped for a snack and a quick sketch. This tree that was so far from us that looked bidimensional caught my attention. When drawing things from life, usually you have the extra challenge of trying to flat the image in your mind before putting it on paper. In this case, when the subject is very far, this part is already resolved for you. And one thing that I really like about drawing and painting from life is exactly that challenge of putting something that has volume in real life into a flat surface as paper or canvas. In this sketch, I just wanted to capture the personality of the tree and also to get to know it better. So if I decided to continue in my studio, I already know more about the tree. Pronto. And as we were going down, I was noticing all other trees and all other point of views of landscapes that I would like to draw and paint. Now, back in the studio, I'm going to draw the same tree, but now using one of the photos I took as reference and trying to add more detail, also trying to understand better the shape of the trunk and also the shape of the branches. I'm keeping the observational sketch at hand because it contains only the main features of the tree, unlike the photo that will show me all the minimal details. The sketch has the quick gestures I used on location to recreate the tree on paper and is more spontaneous. Here, in the beginning of the work, I'm using the previous sketch as reference so I could keep the same gestures I made on location, but I'm also looking all the time to the reference photo because I wanted to capture the position of the branches and the trunk and the shapes of the main elements of the tree. If you want your tree to be recognizable, this is the part where you have to really pay attention. Notice the size of the trunk, the size of the branches, also the shape of some of the branches, at least the main ones. And then when you get to the smaller branches, it won't really make a difference. For this work, I'm using fine liners. I love working with this material. I did just a very quick sketch with pencil, just as I was telling you, the main branches. And I'll draw the medium branches and smaller ones directly with pen. The medium ones, I will still follow the reference photo because I really want this tree to be recognizable. And then I will use my imagination for the smaller ones. But although I'm trying to follow the reference photo and trying to capture the main elements as I see in the photo and as I saw there in real life, when we are drawing something like a tree or a plant, it's possible to be very loose about proportions and sizes, unlike portraits, because the trees and the plants are usually not so symmetrical, so you can make mistakes in quotes, not really mistakes. You can be free about what you draw, and you will still recognize the tree and you will still recognize that particular tree. And for this kind of quick sketch, I also think that those crooked lines, those lines created by shaky hands, they work very well. In this sketch, I wanted to add the second tree that was next to the tree I drew on location. That was also very charming. And now just a few scribbles will do the job. You don't need to draw each and every leaf. To add texture to the trunks and branches, I'm using different nib size, and I'm also using this marked pen that is almost dry. Whenever you see me using a pen with tape, usually that's what it means. It's an old and dry pen that instead of throwing away, I'm going to use it because it's usually better to draw even thinner lines. I love the simplicity of the pencil sketch I drew on location, and I also enjoy the graphical nature of the fineliner sketch I've just finished. I kept some branches without leaves, just bare sticks as I saw on location, and I think the personality of the tree was preserved. The composition of the two trees together was perfect, and I like the white background for promoting the high contrast of the image. In the next video, I'll work on another tree I saw on the same hike, this time with a beautiful background. I enjoy drawing and painting many different subjects, but right now, in the My Nature project, I'm completely focused on documenting and also letting myself be inspired by the Atlantic forest where I live. If you also love nature art and observational drawing, subscribe to my channel and follow along. And I've created a community on Patreon called Our Nature, where I share more thoughts behind my work, and it's also a space for conversation. If that resonates with you, join us. The link is in the description. See you in the next one. Bye!